For those of you who purchased the kit, I'll give you a quick walkthrough of those parts. For those of you who are providing your own parts, this will be a guide as to what you're going to need for this module. The parts list will be available in the downloads section. Now you will need almost every single part from the analog electronics kit you got for the first module. We're going to use your breadboard, jumper wires, the DC and servo motors, the thermistor and CDS cell, resistors. We'll be using almost every part in there. So if you haven't gotten that kit, you'll need that first. You can get that kit at jetpackacademy.com, or the parts list is a free preview in the first module, so you can find out what you need and you can source your own parts. Tools-wise, you'll need a computer. In the kit, you'll find a DVD with all of the software you'll need on it. But I'll be providing links throughout the lessons to pertinent software so you can download it off the internet. Any computer will do, as we won't be putting too much demand on it, and it can have either Windows operating system, Mac OS, or Linux, as all of the software we will use supports any of the systems. The robot kit comes in a bag with the wheels and body separate. If you're buying this kit, you can get them from eBay, usually around the $15 US mark. GC Electronic on eBay is one of the many vendors that sell it. Just do a search on eBay for 2WD, or two-wheel drive, Smart Robot, Car Kit, Arduino. Alternatively, you can get just the wheels and drive motors and mount them to a cardboard box for all it matters. Again, just look for Arduino, Smart Car, Robot, plastic wheel with DC motor or drive motor on eBay, and get 2 of them. Now we assemble the kit in a lesson, and this is what the kit looks like after we've assembled it. You'll need a couple of microchips. The first one is the 4011 quad NAND gate, a very common chip, and you should be able to find it just about anywhere you can get electronic parts. The second is a PIC microcontroller, the PIC 16F1455. Now, this is a chip made by a company called Microchip. If you're providing your own parts, you'll probably have to get that one from DigiKey or microchip.com. Some optional but recommended parts are some male and female headers. Just make sure they have 0.1 inch or 2.54 millimeter spacing. Also, some momentary push buttons that are compatible with breadboards. Now, you can use just wires in their place, of course, and just shove them into the breadboard when you want to make a connection. But buttons are obviously nicer. In the kit, you'll find some jumper wires. The jumper wires should have male to male, male to female, and female to female. You'll then need a Picket 3 programmer. Make sure it's the Picket 3, as the 1455 is a brand new chip and you require the Picket 3 to program it. Now, if you happen to already have the older Picket 2 and you're sourcing your own parts, you can apparently use the older Picket 2. However, you have to set up configuration files and such, and you'll be on your own there. I didn't figure it out, as I was focused on getting the core course lessons done. You can apparently program the 1455 with the older Picket 2, but it's complicated, and I won't be explaining how in this course. You'll need an Arduino Uno, preferably the one with the dip socket, like dip socket chip, like this one. If you have a newer Arduino with the surface mounted chip, like this one, you can still use it. It will work. I specifically got these older ones so you guys could see that you can actually remove the chip and use it as standalone, the chip itself. You don't have to do this, of course, so any Arduino Uno will do. But the other issue I ran into with the Unos with these surface mount chips is they often required fidgeting and installing custom drivers on your computer. Now, with this many students, there's simply no way I can also give tech support for installing drivers on just your computer. So again, if you have another Uno, you're welcome to use it. But again, you're on your own there, getting it installed in your computer, because I simply cannot give tech support for all the different types of computers out there. Also optional, but strongly recommended, is to have some kind of Arduino Uno Proto Shield. Now these are available on eBay. Just search for Proto Shield. We'll be using the 2x16 LCD display, driven by the venerable Hitachi 44780 driver. Now, if you are getting your own parts and your display has more or less lines, that's fine. As long as it uses the Hitachi drivers, you should be able to run it. In the kit, you'll also find these fancy schmancy keypads. Again, just search eBay for 4x5 matrix switch keypad Arduino, and you should find them. From there, we'll have a number of what we call shields, and I'll explain all of that in a later lesson. We'll be using a full color LCD touchscreen shield, 2.4 inch, though any size will work. We'll also be using the ultrasonic shield and an H-bridge shield. Now the H-bridge shield has the L298 driver chip and is quite common. This 7-segment display and keypad can be found all over the place as well and goes by a number of different names. If you search for TM1638 8-bit LED digital tube display Arduino, you should find it. We'll be using a Wi-Fi shield. In this particular case, the ESP8266 or ESP-01 Wi-Fi transceiver. Last but not least, you'll want an infrared transmitter receiver pair. You'll want the simple plain Jane version like this one, and not this one, which has an amplifier and stuff built in. In the downloadable parts list, I'm including links to an eBay provider for some of these parts, which can be harder to find. All right, let's get down to business.